It was already deceased while Maria, one in her chamber, mind on take her own lifetime by bouncing of the 7-story box. Her day at job, fair on the some party of the doorway, had once again begun about sunrise and just ended 15 several hours after. She thick felt poor, possessing not corroded for 2 days. Maria, know her actual behalf, had arriving in Brazil of the Philippines 2 months over, employed as a national employee by a household who lived in a rich neighborhood of Sao Paulo. The tasks they set her seemed never end. She had to assist the mom in the 3 high school-aged boys and a infant. Later pure the big flat, that had a big lunch chamber, a residing chamber and 4 persons' bedrooms, every in its own bathroom. As well go the household's hound, put all the family to cot. The household's mom normally remaining at household, close observer all Maria did. One day, complaining how Maria had not brushed a window spreadsheet correctly, she done her polish it for nearly an time. Several days she would calculate the clothing Maria had ironed or, not happy, would to her expend several hours pressing several more than. Weeks would undergo out of Maria's patronage give her a day away. In so lot to do, she frequently had no period leftward to take. Occasionally, though the meal she was taking into account was not quite on how overnight, she mined on her own household in the Philippine rural area, her mom and 3 youthful daughters, 2 of whom necessary specific medical for his cardiac illness. In all of them depending on her salary, Maria had no selection but to conduct on. So she done her bed and went to sleeping. My planet was rotating. I was weeping, withdrawn the 40-year-old on the day she nearly ended her own lifetime. She had dreamt of upcoming there, I had heard how Brazil was pleasant, and struggled to know why she was creature purified so ill. While Maria woke up the following date, her belly wound of the absence of meal, but her tasks were already wait for her. Just several hours after did she discover thing to take, she was kitchen flesh for the household's dog and took part of it for herself. I didn't include all some selection to pull through. Maria's instance is not distinctive. Brazil has the planet's highest quantity of national workers, and several 6 millionth Brazilians are involved by medium class and wealthy families. Lot afflict misuse and superstition, and officials say several are stored in facility how some to contemporary bondage. It is difficult to estimation how lot as by the government information associated to these cases is nearly non-existent. In 2013, Brazil eventually begun representing law to offer housemaids the identical rights as each some employee, such as an 8-hour workday, a maximal of 44 several hours of job per 1 week and the law to overtime work pay in. Largest, yet job unofficially. Such rights, Maria told, were portion of the gravity of upcoming to Brazil. She was as well pledged which she mind was a proper monthly average wages, $600, £460, and longed the opportunity to investigate a new nation. A type, smile female, she had already treated as a dwell-in chambermaid in Dubai and post-Kong out of possessing problems, and never imaginary she would include any anxiety in Brazil. While Maria Luz expect how her work facility would enhance, she disputed her tenant. I requested, reason are you ever love the to me? Her tenant, she withdrawn, told scornfully how she had never favored Maria. Maria was seldom one in the flat. But one overnight the household went out and while Maria verified the doors, she found them blocked. As the flat was in a very safe house, it was extraordinary for the front line doors to be blocked. The reality how they were while she was leftward one done Maria cautious. How was a late spot? She solved she had to flee. The following night, she got up nobody else, and conclusion the doorway unlocked, she leftward. Worried how the house's safety guardsmen may be suspect vision her outgoing in her baggage and alarm her patronage, she deliberately and casually wavy farewell at the safety chamber. The stunt treated and Maria got off permanent. She was yet exultant, I was happy. Millions of human beings of the Philippines job overseas, mostly in neighboring Asiatic and petroleum-rich Medium East countries, to supporting his families. But common cases of misuse include put the searchlight on how they are purified. In Brazil, some Philippine maids who were enlisted by the identical agent as Maria as well left word his occupation in the recent year by such occasion. They were helping by Dad Paulo Parisi, who rest the non-governmental organization Miseo Groove. They were weeping, his dignities had been ruined, he told. I said them there was operation. Maria and some 3 Philippine maids pay $2,000, £1,500, in charges to the agent. His patronage pay the agent $6,000 and the price of the air transportation to Brazil. Which they were not said while they attached for his jobs was how his visas would be connected to his occupation. So though while they found facility to be poor, they felt they could not go out and see for a new work. And to get a new job they would include to keep Brazil. On 250 Filipinas been employed to job as maids in Brazil with the end of 2012, while law laid the way for families there to rental foreigners. Lot Brazilians say they choose Philippine maids since they are so trained and say British, and so his family can increase up in a 2 languages environmental. But where might be more than to it, told Livia Ferreira, an officer in accusation of enhancing labor law at the social attorney's office space. I believe these families begun employing these workers to utilize them, she told. They couldn't discover Brazilians how would be at his removal. The changes in law authorized housemaids and they weren't receiving specific work facility over. Ms. Ferreira's crew signed how Maria and some 3 Philippine maids had been stored in slavery-like facility. Brazilian law defines it as constrained labor, job in offensive or dangerous facility, out of pay or to pay off debts owed to a tenant. His work facility were really various of which they had been pledged. They were stored in constrained labor and had grueling routines, Ms. Ferreira told. The patronage, who include not been identified, include not annotated. Brazil's Social Protector's Office space has startup labor lawsuits versus the families and the recruiting agent. The agent denies any offense and has hanging its recruiting facility. The authorities are now looking in the position of 180 some overseas national workers, and several labor law violations include already been found in the at-first cases. Maria has found a new job following by the government gave her and some Philippine maids new visas. But her lifetime is not out of terror. 2 months back, the plane she excited in was ransacked. Anything was undertaken but Maria saw it as a precautionary. Largest of which Maria earns goes to profitable off obligation she got in to pay the agent that at first located her in Brazil. She hopes to rescue cash to email her daughters to college, so they don't pursue in my footsteps, and to outdoor her own industry while she returns household to the Philippines. But for currently, she is eventually using her lifetime in Brazil. I sense complimentary. I'm lucky currently. Live video by Anna Athade Earth, illustrations by Katie Horwich.